Hi and welcome to another episode. What we've got here is Fighters StrikerDC Gamepad. Fighters being of no relation. Bit of a silly joke there because people know that I used to call myself Fairfight14 for the channel, but that's my username now online. So StrikerDC Gamepad, Sega Dreamcast. On the back it says StrikerDC Gamepad yet again, introducing the next revolution for Metro Fighters, the Dreamcast StrikerDC controller. The StrikerDC Gamepad showcases next generation features and designs. This new take on the Dreamcast controller introduces an ergonomic and modern shape with added features. The StrikerDC is the ultimate way to relive your favourite classic games. Ergonomic and modern designs, the Dreamcast controller, compatible with both EMUs and vibration packs, high quality and responsive D-pad, extra long 10-foot cord, that's just over 3 meters if my quick calculations are right. Added turbo function to help get you to the next level. Comfortable and responsive analog stick. Don't let children under the age of 3 play around with it because they might choke on small parts. Quite frankly, don't let your kids play on it anyway. It's adults only. Now, just before I open it though, I will show that what I previously backed, because I backed this, I haven't bought it, I backed it. It's 2 different terms. But I backed this as well from the Kickstarter. Back whatever year it was, the Brawler 64, and this is a good gamepad for the N64. I do like this one. There was a bit of a problem at launch, but they were good enough people to be sending out replacement parts, basically a whole new case and things, because there was a bit of a problem with the up and the left shoulder button. But they fixed it and they kept to their word, and for a Kickstarter to be doing that, I have to compliment them on that, because I realise they want to do it as a good Kickstarter, but also afterwards they start selling it to the general public, as it were, through sellers and things. Now, let's flip this over. Well, not flip it over, I've done that bit. Silly me. Right, let's get it open. It's one of these tight boxes where, I'm holding the top lid, but it's not dropping out. There we go. So there's a bit of tissue paper to protect things, which is a bit weird because there is a stain mark, if you just notice. There is, you can see where it's rubbed. Can you see that? So no wonder they put tissue paper there. An FAQ. Why does the analog stick feel like it has light resistance? The analog stick uses a high-end micro potentiometer, similarly used in Switch and Android tablet devices. Don't worry, there's no drift issues. We use smaller components due to ergonomics and aesthetics and functionality. When comparing side by side along with the original analog stick, the StrikerDC analog provides better control and sensitivity levels, which is noticeable in games where accuracy is key. What accessories are compatible with the StrikerDC? The StrikerDC is compatible with all first-party accessories, VMUs, vibration packs, and 4x memory pack and microphone. Please note that some third-party accessories may not be compatible. Why does the VMU window look different than the original? The improved VMU window on the StrikerDC provides full visibility of the VMU, allowing you full view of the VMU even at downwards angle of 45 degrees angle. Right, how is the D-pad different? The StrikerDC D-pad has been modified many times to get the right feel down. You should have no problem performing your favourite moves in fighting games. Why are there both shoulder buttons and triggers? The StrikerDC showcases both shoulder buttons and triggers. This is to allow both digital and pressure sensitive analog inputs for different genre of games. Shoulder buttons are best suited for fighting games and analog triggers are best used for racing games. Oh, there's a whole lot of text to be reading. How do I use the turbo function? Press the button you like to apply turbo X, Y or AB and hold down the turbo button, function button and your and the turbo function button, and your button will now have a turbo functions. To return to the button back to the normal, hold down normal, should be a comma there, hold down the clear button and the button you want to turn back to normal function, and it says star. Please note the turbo function does not work on the shoulder buttons or triggers. Well, why not? Quite frankly, why not? That could have been programmed in, especially for the shoulder, but the trigger buttons on the shoulders. That's a hypothetical question to anyone who might want to actually answer it. Right, does the StrikerDC work with DC to USB adapters? Although the controller has not been tested on all branded DC to USB adapters, it should work on all, if not most. Nothing on the back there. Some fancy stickers of different characters, I'm assuming. And then tiny quick start instruction manual. Oh look, there's a little key ring which matches up with none of the characters that are on the stickers. Nothing on the back, I'm assuming. Oh, it says Retro Fighters on the back. Alright, the Retro Fighters instruction manual. I shall not bore you with my wonderful reading and read all of this, but basically it talks about them, their social media. If you've got any problems, contact them. Thank you for purchasing it. The goods. The Dreamcast system holds a special place in our gaming collection. Blah 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 blah, which is true. Setup. Again, it's basically telling you what the FAQ said. Then it gives you a bit of a diagram showing you the shoulder buttons. And then it also shows the triggers. And then special thank you to those people. I'm assuming they were people that threw quite a bit of money at them at the Kickstarter. And then it points out that Sega has nothing to do with the design or any of that trouble. Right, so let's get this open. First start, there's a little black dot. I hope that's not a dead insect. These things happen though, I know. But right, so it doesn't want to come out if you pull that. And I wouldn't want to pull that because obviously it's just plastic. So I'm gonna, seems to be easy way to pull it. So I'm gonna stick my fingers there. No rude comments, I know what you lot are like. Right, pulls out quite easily. Let's put all this bump back in again. Oh, let's not forget the tissue paper. Put the lid on. Whoa, that is a tight seal of a box, that. Let me just put that on the floor quite gently. So here we are. We have the gamepad. So yes, there's obviously quite a bit of cable. First feel. Well, I have to say, let's bring this in. It does feel different, which you highly expect because obviously it's a different product. I never really had much trouble with this gamepad because people always used to moan about the cable comes out the bottom. Well, it has got a little bit there to catch hold of the wire, so it feels like it's coming out the front again. It was an unusual design, I do admit, but anyway, let's take out the VMU and let's take out the vibration pack. There we go. Both official stuff. Just to note as well, this is not a review of the actual use of it, it's just an unboxing and seeing what you get, but I do want to feel, how does it feel? Now this gamepad, believe it or not, I've had for a year or so, but it's had hardly any use and it was brand new out of box when I bought it. I do have another one which is still in brand new in box, so when I do a review I may open that one up so it's brand new versus brand new. Right, so the analog stick does seem to have a lot wider angle at first feel, but actually travel distance, it's a lot quicker, but as we all know, the Dreamcast one had a bit of a, quite a large dead center. I won't be interested to know what the dead center is like on this one. I'm not too impressed that there's a load of fluff and everything inside this though. It's as if someone's already had this one open. I wonder if it was one of the many that some people got two by accident, and how many of them got sent back. But yeah, there's a fair bit of dust in there. I'm not expecting, CPU processing design put in a box, antiviral stuff, but yeah, it's not so great when there's dust already in it. Makes it feel secondhand. Right, so onto the D-pad. Feels like many other third-party gamepad. You know, it's a bit on the stiff side, but the original one had more of a wobble to it though, didn't it? I mean, look how much it actually wobbles compared to stuff. Obviously these are sort of things that could do with actually loading up a game, but I have 4 Dreamcasts. One of them works, but basically I want to get to doing more of the stuff before I start faffing around with them. And at the moment I can't actually lay my hands on an actual computer game for it, so a video game for it. So, well, as you can hear, that's a very clicky start button, whereas the start button on the Dreamcast is a more softer button. Don't know why I've gone for hard there. I mean, it's quite a travel on the start. I'm not saying everything has to be like for like, but it's just, I'd be interested to know the reasons. Right. Well, the fire buttons do feel like there's less of a travel. The colours are a little bit washed out compared to the originals, but I'm sure there's some kind of copyright worry they've got to worry about with that. But they're close enough. I mean, obviously you can tell what colour's which, but they are, to me, on camera I'm noticing that they look the same, but in person they are a little bit washed out in comparison. The buttons, these are softer buttons, these ones, and they have a bit more of a travel. These are firm but acceptable, at least they feel like it when I'm not playing a game. But the travel time's a lot, not a lot shorter, but it is shorter. So maybe you can pull off some moves a bit faster. The turbo and clear button are the same kind of button as this, very clicky. Shoulder buttons, well, they're the same, clicky. Obviously can't compare. Trigger buttons, very spongy. Whereas these are pressable, but you've got resistance. As in, you can feel the spring trying to push you back at the moment you start pressing. It's trying to push you back. Whereas with these, not as firm. So that'd be something to get used to. Obviously I'm not bashing this right now in the realms of stuff, I'm just saying how I'm feeling it as I'm describing it. I can't really bash it until I do a proper review, but even then I've got a feeling it'll just be different. I wasn't never expecting basically that in a more modern gamepad holding style, though that would be nice, but I wasn't expecting exactly the same, because obviously there's certain things I've got to make sure they're not getting told off for recreating. Right, so vibration pack, they say it works, it probably works. It fits in there quite nicely. Oh, now this though, this is a brand new as well, this has had been used, so there's no, you know, slimy, gummy stuff of many years of use down the sides. I only just put new batteries in it the other day because I've been sat doing nothing. That's very stiff going in there and in here. Hey, oh look at that. I can let go and it'll fall in. Whereas with this, it doesn't. So that's not like for like. It goes in, but I've got a feeling that's going to annoy some people. I'm also wondering, does their plastic actually line up? I'm wondering, there's kind of little tabs just here, and which are on here as well, but they seem a lot stiffer on here. I don't know if it's the plastic is a bit tighter. Oh, dear me, that was, of course there's a switch on that one, but and that's in there, but that slides in a lot easier than it does for its top counterpart, which is different, and that actually slips in a little bit easier. So all I can say is maybe the original Dreamcast one, because obviously this is original Dreamcast, but maybe the original cream ones were a little bit skinnier or something. Because obviously it being translucent, it's slightly different plastic. Maybe this is a little bit bulkier when it comes out of its mold. It's not a problem, but you can see I'm having to use a bit of force. Not a lot, but a little bit of force to make it fit in. But yes, to see now at this angle, if I happen to be at this angle, which to me is, well, they're talking about 45 degrees angles, but basically that's, to me, you know, as I'm looking down, I'm definitely getting near enough a 90 degree angle, never mind a 45, but I've got leaving this little bottom bit of the window open, because you can see it actually completely hides. To look at this from this angle, I can't see the bottom part of the screen for me. If I can recreate that for you, you can just see it cuts that off. Whereas for this one, if I recreate it again, roughly the angle that you see when you're just using it. So you actually get to see some bottom lip. Well, when it's this way around, you know, you get to see a bit of the bottom part of the VMU. So they definitely improved that bit. So I'm sure you're probably biting at the bit now of like, come on, do the review. Well, let's see, maybe I can get the review out next week. As always, happy gaming.